99% of people will lose. Brace for the impact. Now, if you are new to Bitcoin and you've just suddenly heard on the internet that Bitcoin has reached an all-time high, or you've heard lots of hype about BlackRock and all sorts of other stuff, and it going to the moon and rocketing 100,000, 200,000, stop and listen to what I've got to say just for at least 1 minute, and I will make things clear for you. Okay, so with that said, let's get started. What you can see here right now is the Bitcoin Euro chart, all right? It doesn't really matter the Bitcoin dollar chart or whatever, but you can see that there's this aggressive price going up. If we look on the weekly charts, so you can see here, this here was the absolute high, the euphoria in November 2021. And this is then not quite euphoria right now in February 2024. Now, what you don't want to be caught out upon, right, is the euphoria at the top, because as you can see here, it's just big red candles, which is the reason for the big red candle, all right? The price can go up and it can go down at the same rate. And sometimes when it goes down even faster, at a faster rate. So if you are thinking, if you're contemplating about buying into Bitcoin, that's good, all right? But what you need to learn about buying into Bitcoin is when, right? It's when and the where. And when everyone is in euphoria, that's not the time to be buying into Bitcoin. With that said, let's have a look at these, what we've got in the chart here. It says next sell point, 62,203 euros. That was yesterday, right? And it bypassed that. And yesterday when I was making the video, if I've got it here, you can see here that the price was on this one line here and it boomed up. And I didn't think that it would make that 62,000 in that amount of time. And it went really, really quickly. And as you can see here, it hit the top and boomed back down again, not a problem, to lower prices. Now, what you've got here is I've got another one, and this is an arbitrary number that I've added. This next sell at 67,624 euros. This is an arbitrary number where I've decided that this is the right amount of profits that I'm willing to take out at this one point. So it's all based upon how much profits I want, not based upon the Bitcoin price. I'm using the profits that I want and the Bitcoin price to dictate how much, what the price has to be for me to take the next profits. Now, the price of Bitcoin can go in one of two directions. It can actually go in one of three directions. And let's just quickly talk about this, all right? Now, it's better to look at this stuff at macro scale rather than at micro scale. Macro meaning like the big picture, okay? And as you can see here, we've got this rapid upward movement, but we can see that this weekly candle is starting to go down a little bit. Now, if the prices are going to go up higher, these levels here, they are kind of arbitrary as well, but they're relative to the price action, all right? And they're Fibonacci levels, but I'm not going to get into that. But these are possible places that it could go: 70,000, 76, 81,000, 87,000. They're just prices in the future that could go. Do I think it's going to go there? Yes, I do. When do I think it's going to go there? I have no idea. All right. But what's got to happen as well is that, you know, there's for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if something's got to go up, if something's going to go up here, it has to have the equal and opposite chance of coming down here as well. The market will decide, do we want it? Don't we want it? And at one point, someone's got to meet in the middle. So the question is it going to go down first? And is it going to go down further? And where is the middle going to be? And where is the accumulation phase going to happen, ready for it to have enough energy to move back up again? And energy is the key point. The prices just can't be based upon euphoria, all right? It has to be based upon logic, reasoning and rationality. That's how finances work. You know, politics, they work on emotions and so on sometimes. The people are happy. But finances, economics works on numbers, mathematics. And so If you're looking at this thinking, I'm going to buy in now because the price could come up here, you have to remember that's risk. If you buy in here and the price goes up there, then you win. But if you buy in here and the price goes down there, then you lose, and you're going to lose big. So the best thing to do is wait. Wait to see when the price goes sideways for a long time. Okay. And that's when you know that people are accumulating. Look, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days it did accumulate in there. That's a big signal, right? Big signal that it's either accumulating or distributing. And then you see this candle here. You now know that it's going to go up higher. But what you want to do is come back to the beginning of the story, you know, the initial introduction. And here you can see is where the people were like, I'm going to accumulate hard here. And these people are the ones that made the biggest profit. And then it went up. It went up and then it came back down again. Look, it had euphoria here and then it just dumped. But this in proportion, right? What you've got to remember is we are humans. We always like proportions. And it went up. And this is where I want you to take note of this. It went up and it came down 50%. It actually came down 61%, all right? So this is something, and this pattern occurs all the time. Let's come to here. So this was then the bottom, let's call it, and it went to the top. It came down again 50%. So there was some form of way of equilibrium for everyone to agree upon the price. Let's come to this one. We put this here, we go to the top of it, and we see that it came down by 38% first of all, and then it decided to crash all the way back down to basically where it started from. And what do we see there then? We saw like this accumulation phase once again. And now we see this absolute euphoria going up. All right, this absolute greed. This bit here is not greed. This is it just going up as normal. It went up, it came back down. It accumulated, it went up, it came back down. There's complete rationality. And then it came up here with euphoria. It accumulated and it's gone up again and it's gone up again, right? At one point, this must come down. History will repeat. So if you're going to buy when it goes down again. Just be patient. That's the whole point of investing. So I'm not telling you don't buy Bitcoin. I'm just telling you to save your money right now, okay? Nothing is going to change that dramatically in 6 months. Keep saving every single month. Keep saving. And when you see big red candles like this, right? Big red candles, remember, that's the reason for it. When you see a big red candle, not a small candle like this, see a big red candle. And I mean literally like this. Let's go green. Let's go red, sorry. My apologies. When you see a big, thick red candle, and I want this to stick in your mind, stick right in your mind. Let's go like this. This big red candle, this is an indication to buy at the bottom of that red candle when it goes across. And if it does a big red candle again, buy at the bottom, all right? And if it does a smaller red candle here, buy at the bottom. And if it does then a smaller one again, right, an even smaller one again, buy at the bottom. And then when it does this for a little bit and it goes across, right, then you got to start thinking, okay, the price is leveled out now. The people are starting to agree upon that is where the price can be. Now, we've seen this here, we've seen it here, and we've seen it here. So this can be that this is just like level 1. So when this does go down again, then wait for it to consolidate once again. Once the price calms down, then make a decision. But all the time, the price is going down with these big red candles. Big is the key word. All the time it's going down with these big, aggressive red candles. There's nothing wrong with buying in, but start off small and then keep going small. And then when the candles get smaller and smaller and smaller, just increase what you buy a little bit more. And then when you suddenly see the whole market, the whole world is of extreme fear, everyone's panicking, all sorts of stuff on the media, at the bus stop, all sorts, everyone's panicking because of all this. And then the government has to start like making money non-stop, lowering the interest rates. That's a real signal that you start buying in heavier. all right? Because that is a signal that the market is completely changing direction now, and the people have no money, and it needs more energy to make the market go again, all right? That's the time when you start buying in when it's down the bottom, all right? And there you will be laughing all the way to the bank, quite literally. All right. So just remember this, is that there is nothing wrong with buying Bitcoin. The idea of Bitcoin is really fantastic, but don't be sucked into the greed. All right. You want to be buying when there's fear in the market. Do not be buying at greed. Sell when there's greed in the market. And so my next point of selling, I am not going to sell any more Bitcoin until the price hits 67,624, and that is it. And once that hits there, depending upon how quickly it hits there, I will then be selling a little bit more. And don't get me wrong, I'm not selling everything. I'm selling a small portion of it to take out as profits and wait to see if it goes up even further. And when those profits are taken out, I'm going to wait for a big red candle, and wait for it to go back down again to get some neutrality. And when we see neutrality between the greed and the fear, that's where I will start then working out where the possible entries are to come back in again, to buy that Bitcoin back at a cheaper price. If you go into a car dealership and the car's on sale for 20,000, and the car dealer says, "I tell you what, because you're such a nice guy, I give it to you for 18,000. And then you say to the dealer, "Oh, that's fantastic. I'll give you 25." That's complete irrational. The dealer's going to go, "Okay, sign the documentation as quick as possible. Here's 25. Then another person walks in and says, "Oh, I just heard you sold that car for 25 when it was only worth 20. And he gave him an offer for 18. I'm going to buy the car for 26,000 now." That's ludicrous, right? It's idiocy. And that is what is going to happen with Bitcoin if you're buying it here. It's going to go up. It is not. The price of Bitcoin right now is overpriced. It needs to find an equilibrium price first before we start knowing what the actual price is. Okay, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is worth 20,000. I'm not saying it's worth 30,000. No one knows what it's worth right now because it's overpriced. When the market comes back down and gets neutrality, right, then we'll know what price Bitcoin actually has. But right until now, the institutions, the big banks, that they're gambling on that the retail traders will come in with their billions, right? And 8 billion or 8.4 and whatever it is billion people on the world, if they all put in $50, that'll be a huge amount of money that these banks can sell everything to you, and then they can buy it all back here at a cheaper price and make a whole bunch of money whilst you go into recession and be poor. With that said, please make sure you listen to what I say, is I'm going to be making more of these videos over the next coming weeks. And we're going to look at this in depth even further and further all the time to try and document this journey with you all. Okay, with that said, thank you very much for listening, and just remember, stay cautious, all right, and keep watching the price. And if you think I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong, because I can only learn from it. But let's have a conversation in the comment section down below. With that said, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.